Now on 4 News Now at 6, early voters in Grant County are running into issues with their ballots. We'll explain why the ballots won't fit in the envelopes and what it means for mail-in votes.
From t-shirts to parkas, well, the cool, wet weather is here, and we have even more on the way. I'll let you know when the skies will clear up in the First Alert forecast.
Test scores are on the decline nationwide. How students in the Northwest compare to the rest of the country, and what experts say is causing our kids to fall behind. You're watching 4 News Now at 6.
Voters in Grant County, if you are struggling to fold your ballot back into the return envelope, you're not alone. A Grant County voter pointed this out to 4 News Now on Twitter last night. The ballot is too big for that security envelope. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Kirsten O'Connor.
And I'm Aaron Luna. We've never seen this before, so we reached out to the Grant County Elections Office to find out what happened and, more importantly, how to fix it. Emily Bloom has the answers in this 4 News Now exclusive.
There's an issue with the ballots voters in Grant County are receiving. As you can see here, the ballot doesn't quite fit in the security envelope. The auditor here is telling us you need to take your ballot, fold it a second time before sliding it in the security envelope and casting your vote.
When I went to vote last night, it became apparent that the ballot was the size of the shipping envelope instead of the security envelope.
Nick Moore isn't alone. It's been a busy day at the Grant County Elections Office with voters like him trying to get some clarity. Grant County Elections mailed out more than 46,000 ballots that won't fit in the security envelope. The county blames the vendor they used to create the ballots, which blamed the mistake on being understaffed due to COVID.
With the past years of whatever, I think that one of the ways to help everyone have higher vote integrity or whatever is to bring them up before Election Day, right?
The Grant County auditor says this is an easy fix.
We made a folding error, and it doesn't affect the ballot, just affects on how it fits into the security envelope and requires you to make another fold in the ballot.
Your vote won't be invalidated by an extra fold. And if you choose to simply mail it without the security envelope, that won't invalidate it either.
You just never know how little tiny things can cascade into. All of a sudden, like I said, all of a sudden the U.S. Senate has decided on the courthouse and I don't want to afraid on Alex Jones or whatever, because on November 7th, all of a sudden they couldn't count and who knows, whatever.
Jader Lynn told us she doesn't anticipate this extra fold will create any kind of issues with the automated ballot reader.
For the next election, they tell us they'll be having some very serious conversations with their vendor to make sure this doesn't happen a second time. Reporting in Grant County, Emily Bloom, 4 News Now.
Well, candidates in Washington's U.S. Senate race faced off in their first debate last night at Gonzaga University. Democratic Senator Patty Murray, who has held the seat since 1992, was up against Republican Tiffany Smiley. For an hour, they went back and forth on issues people in eastern Washington care about most, including their stance on abortions.
If you send me back a pro-choice Senate, I will work to pass my legislation to codify Roe into law.
Murray believes there's a difference between the two opponents on abortion legislation. Smiley says she is personally pro-life, although opposes a federal abortion ban.
The Supreme Court's decision gave the power to the people, and that's where I believe it belongs.
These candidates are now gearing up for a town hall this Sunday, October 30th in Seattle. You can watch that right here on 4 News Now. You can stream it on KXLY.com or KXLY Plus starting at 5.
Get ready for a cool night. There's also rain in the forecast. We'll send it over to Chris Crocker to find out. And Chris.
Well, we do have another round of rain on the way about 24 hours from now. But in the meantime, we still have some hit and miss showers. Here's a look at our radar right now. And a lot of the precipitation from earlier today is tapering off. But we do still have some rain around the Coeur d'Alene area and some snow over Lookout Pass. The latest photo from the pass showing some slushy conditions in spots and not the best night to be debuting your winter driving skills for the season. Temperatures right now 44 in Spokane, it's 40 in Coeur d'Alene, but we're already in the 30s in Bonners Ferry and Sandpoint, right around the Spokane area. 38 at Spirit Lake and 39 in Post Falls. It's 38 right now in Deer Park. In your forecast for tomorrow, we do have the chance of a few hit and miss showers this evening. Look for mostly cloudy and cool conditions. Wouldn't rule out an isolated shower in Spokane, but most of the wet weather will be in North Idaho this evening. I'll be back to take you hour by hour through your forecast in just a few minutes. Kirsten?
Chris, thank you. Well, county commissioners are calling Camp Hope the biggest health and public safety crisis in the region, and they're now using what they learned from COVID to try and close it down.
The sheriff wants the county to declare an emergency proclamation at the site. Commissioners say they're ready to use this new tool to tear the camp down. Tonight at 6 o'clock, Esther Bauer shows us what this means for the future.
Well, the sheriff says this resolution would give him the resources and flexibility to rapidly shut down the homeless camp. All three commissioners are expected to pass this emergency resolution tomorrow. With winter on the horizon, they say the camp needs to go before colder weather is here. The conversations in this meeting room will decide the fate of these people living at the largest homeless camp in Washington.
The homelessness issue is an embarrassment to the community. A lot of people are frustrated at the lack of leadership that has taken to get us to where we're at.
The sheriff is now asking for more power to change where we're at.
I need the structure to coordinate the resources, the assets, and implement this.
Sheriff Ozzie Knezovich says this emergency proclamation would free up resources and create urgency to address the issue. It's what county commissioners used during COVID to manage the crisis.
We stood side by side when we did this for COVID, and it gave us the flexibility to respond to changing dynamics and do it in a much more timely fashion.
The city says they're now working to transform the Trent shelter into an emergency stabilization center, which could house around 400 people. Both the county and city say they're committed to closing down the camp before winter rolls around, with or without the state's help.
We have a responsibility to the citizens of our community to deal with this issue.
And both the sheriff and county attorneys are also saying conversations right now with the state are stalled. They say they aren't getting any kind of response as of now. Here's what the Department of Transportation shared with us following this new resolution. Their statement reads in part, it's discouraging that the county has had nearly a year to join in on discussion, support, and work with state agencies to proactively find a solution to close the encampment. Also, the sheriff's claims that setting up an EOC would free up resources are false. In fact, it would do the opposite. What the sheriff is proposing is to set up a parallel effort instead of leveraging and joining the work already underway. Now we'll continue to track what happens next at the camp and if the city, county, and state are ever really able to start working together on this issue. Reporting in studio tonight, Esther Bauer, 4 News Now.
Esther, thank you. Well, a family of 9 is now dealing with a badly damaged house after this fire this morning. This was the scene near East Marshall Avenue near Mission and Napa. The Spokane Fire Department says a woman called just before 8 a.m. saying her attic was filled with fire and smoke. No one was hurt. Crews got the flames under control very quickly, but Spokane Fire says the home does have extensive damage and the cause is still under investigation. Brand new tonight at 6, changes are coming to Trent Avenue in Spokane Valley. The city is redesigning the Sullivan Road interchange near State Road 290. It would replace the Sullivan Bridge over Trent and the bridge next to it. The city will be hosting a project open house this Thursday at East Valley Middle School starting at 5 o'clock. To learn more about the project and the link to take a survey on the interchange, look for this story on KXLY.com.
Also new tonight, the nation's report card is now in and math test scores are down across the country. 4th and 8th grades are seeing the largest drop in decades. From 2019 to now, 8th grade math scores fell by 8 points, and the number of students who were proficient in math dropped to 26%. 4th graders dropped 5 points. We're seeing a similar trend here in Washington. 8th grader scores are down 10 points in math and 4 points in reading. It's a different story in Idaho. Math scores only dropped by 4 points and 2 in reading. While scores may be down in both states, they are still higher than the national average. Experts say the latest report confirms that the pandemic had a massive impact on students' learning. Other studies have suggested students are now starting to recover, but say progress has been modest.
If this is not a wake-up call for us to double down our efforts and improve education, even before it was before the pandemic, then I don't know what will.
We are reaching out to multiple school districts in our area to see how they plan to get scores back to pre-pandemic levels, and we expect to hear from them this week. For now, you can see the full report. It's on KXLY.com.
Time is running out to get treats for all the boys and ghouls who will be wandering the streets of the inland Northwest. How you can save on Halloween candy coming up. And Spokane will soon have 2 more county commissioners. We sat down with both for one of the city's newest districts. We ask how they plan to solve issues that matter to you. Next on 4 News Now at 6.
Four News Now on your time with Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Save your greed!
This is another one of those surprise medical bills you get in the mail. I've gotten them. You've gotten them. I'm Kathy McMorris Rogers. With inflation crushing our families, we need to put a stop to these. I support requiring hospitals, insurers, and doctors to disclose their prices so you can know the real cost and can shop around for the best care. I approve this message because no one likes surprises, especially this kind.
At Providence, we've been investing in the health of the community and raising the standard of care for over 160 years. And we are honored to bring you top-rated Medicare Advantage coverage. Providence plans start at just $0, include dental, hearing, and vision, and connect you to a network of thousands of local providers. Providence. Join us as we make communities stronger by building true health together.
I've never liked political ads that attack. But with my opponent, we better start tightening budgets to pay for the state income tax that he supports. My opponent believes a tent city has never caused an increase in crime. We can expect more crime, more taxes, and more regulations that make housing more expensive. I support safer neighborhoods, lower taxes, and addressing homelessness and housing. I support you, the hardworking people of Spokane. Vote Kim, please, for County Commissioner.
If you're looking to remodel, redecorate, or make your home more energy efficient and beautiful, then you should check out the new stylish carbon windows from the Coeur d'Alene Window Company. Sold exclusively at McVeigh Brothers Siding and Windows.
Oh, life, we hear you beating out the rhythm of our days. We know you live fully. It's why we pioneer new treatments. Because when it comes to matters of the heart, you deserve world-class health care. Providence, we see the life in you.
In America, we have a pressure from every quarter trying to destroy the opportunity for people to be able to build their own futures. We see an economy that has gone from the strongest economy that we have seen to one in which we have raging inflation. Our borders must be protected. We are seeing unprecedented entry, 2 million illegal entries, with the drugs and the violence that comes with it. I'm going to fight to make sure that we stop those problems. I'm Mike Crapo, and I approve this message.
In our For the People coverage tonight, for the first time in the general election, Spokane County voters will only be voting for 1 county commissioner in their district.
This time, 2 brand new districts and 2 brand new commissioners are joining the table. The city of Spokane is now divided into districts 1 and 2, which means Spokane residents will not see all candidates on their ballots. In District 1, Democrat Chris Jordan is an attorney who has worked in the Attorney General's office for the past 6 years. Republican Kim Please has owned her own business for more than 30 years. New at 6, Rania Kaur sat down with each candidate to find out where they stand on the issues that matter most to you.
With Election Day a little over 2 weeks away,
I really, really care about Spokane, and I'm worried about the safety of this community.
Both Chris Jordan and Kim Please are vying for your vote.
I've dealt with approximately 400 cases of child abuse, neglect, and maltreatment, and that experience will be really important on public safety.
Public safety, the forefront of both their campaigns.
I think that our money is better spent targeting root causes. Particularly, it's about having the right people in jail, particularly when there's data showing that a large portion of the crime is caused by a small number of people. Let's target those folks.
Kim Please wants further collaboration with the Spokane County Sheriff's Office.
There's always new and dangerous situations that come up. I just think that's the biggest thing is supporting them and giving them adequate training and the tools that they need.
In early October, the county commissioners, in support of Sheriff Knezevich, approved a lawsuit to clear Camp Hope. Please is in complete support of the sheriff's decision and the county's current solution to homelessness.
I think that having the trench shelter there, and I still believe that there are beds available there, and those that want help should move into the shelter. It's a safe situation, and I don't understand why more people aren't moving and transitioning there.
Jordan completely disagrees with how all of it was handled.
The latest great idea from Spokane County to solve homelessness is to sue the state. I think voters expect people to work together, who are in office, to collaborate, to problem solve, and that would be my approach. That's been my experience.
Your vote will decide which vision comes to fruition. Reporting for 4 News Now, I'm Rania Kaur.
Most of tomorrow will be dry in Spokane. Just a slight chance of showers, and it increases as you head east into Coeur d'Alene. High tomorrow of 49 degrees with the rain and possible snow moving in tomorrow night. I'll tell you more about that after the break.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Silverwood Theme Park.
Deanna Krull has over 20 years of legal experience. As District Court Judge, Deanna Krull will prioritize safe neighborhoods.
Throughout my legal career, I've worked to uphold the law, always with community safety in mind. Paid for by Friends of Deanna Krull for Judge.
There's a clear choice for Senate. While Tiffany Smiley stood with Mitch McConnell and the big drug companies to oppose lowering the cost of prescription drugs, Patty Murray is busy working for us.
I worked with Democrats and Republicans to ban surprise medical bills, and I led the fight to pass legislation to lower the cost of prescription drugs, including capping insulin at $35 a month. I'm Patty Murray. I approve this message to focus on what really matters, you.
This week, look who's waking up with America's favorite morning show. Kerry Washington, Shonda Rhimes, Tony Hale, Henry Cavill, and what legendary rocker AC/DC frontman Brian Johnson says will leave you thunderstruck.
It was just magic.
This week on GMA.
They keep us safe, put their lives on the line every day. Yet radicals want to defund the police and give criminals get-out-of-jail-free cards. That's the last thing we need. Law enforcement has a champion. Cathy McMorris Rodgers. Cathy says no to defunding the police and voted to secure more funding for local police departments. Endorsed by police and sheriffs, Cathy backs the blue and they back her.
I'm Cathy McMorris Rodgers and I approve this message.
When the weather outside is frightful, your home or office can be delightful. American craftsmanship is getting harder to find and even harder to experience, but not with Vermont Casting. Stoves and inserts are hand-built with you in mind. No detail is too small. The result? Timeless furniture, quality beauty that delivers efficient heat to your home. Vermont Castings, handcrafted to set your living space apart in style and in comfort. Visit our showroom for gas, wood, and pellet stoves. Andy's Heating and Cooling, since '72, thanks to you.
I'm Deanna Krull, running for Spokane County District Court Judge. I've worked on all sides of the courtroom. As judge, I'll prioritize community safety, accountability, and foster success for those ready to accept help. I would appreciate your vote. Paid for by Friends of Deanna Krull for Judge.
0.08 of an inch of rain today at the airport. Our year to date not too far below average thanks to a wet spring and early summer. May have been dry in the hottest part of the year, and now we're starting to make up for some lost time. Our high today only 44. 53 is our average high. 35 was where we started the day, which is average. We did get down to freezing over the weekend, so we can cross that off our climatological to-do list. 35 for an overnight low tonight with the possibility of evening showers. Breezy at times, although not right now. Gusts to 25 miles per hour. 49 tomorrow for a high with mostly cloudy skies. Chance of showers late in the day. Again, wind gusts up to 25 miles per hour. I want to show you our temperature trend because as cool as it is going to be over the next several days, we are really going to be very close to average. This white line right here is average, a little below for the next couple of days, and then a little above that actually surprised me when I saw that today. This temperature, our average high just plummets in October. It is the month of most change in either direction, up or down. And by this time next week, our average high will be in the 40s. Here's a look at our forecast. Starting off at our current time, the front that brought the rain today and the cool conditions is now off to the south and east. We have another system that's coming in for late tomorrow that will bring us another chance of some steady precipitation starting late tomorrow night. In between those two, enough instability in our weather pattern that a hit or miss shower is possible. Here's a look at our forecast radar starting off at 7 o'clock with some showers over the Palouse and into the central panhandle. 9 o'clock this evening, we start to see just a few isolated showers in eastern Washington, including the Spokane area. But by tomorrow morning, most of that wet weather will be confined to the mountains of the central panhandle and the Cascades. Our next system starts moving in the afternoon. 9 o'clock tomorrow evening, we're back to the steady precipitation. Overnight lows tonight, primarily in the 30s around the region. A few spots getting down into the 20s, 41 tonight in Lewiston. Tuesday's highs will be in the 40s in northeast Washington, north Idaho. 55 tomorrow in Lewiston, warmer and drier for the Columbia Basin up through the Okanagan. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. A work in progress, to be sure. With these active weather patterns, there's a lot of moving parts, so they are subject to change. Tuesday night and into Wednesday, snow level will be dropping. You may see some snow mixing in with the rain Wednesday morning, but would not be a concern on the roads. Thursday, we get a little bit of a break, and it looks right now like that break may continue through Friday before the wet weather returns for the weekend in the form of valley rain and high mountain snow. Aaron?
Thank you, Chris. Hey, Kirsten, you know what's scary?
What?
How expensive Halloween is getting.
Anytime you mention dollars right now, it's going to be scary.
Not only is the candy more expensive, the pieces are getting smaller, too.
Ooh, not good for toddlers. ABC's Ariel Reshef explains where you can still find a great deal.
Trick or treat! This Halloween, there may be more tricks than treats, thanks to inflation's impact on the rising prices of candy.
It's just a bunch of hocus pocus.
No, it's not a bunch of hocus pocus. According to the latest Consumer Price Index report, the cost of candy and chewing gum is up about 13% from this time last year. Those king-size Reese's peanut butter cups up 14%. A Hershey's milk chocolate bar 15%. That party mix that was once $10 will now set you back $11.30.
You're not scared, are you?
And as those prices soar, the packaging is shrinking, known as shrinkflation. Hershey's confirming a bag of their dark chocolate kisses is now a couple ounces smaller than it used to be. And that 2-pack of Reese's cups, 1/10 of an ounce lighter. Hershey's telling ABC News the changes were consumer-driven improvements. So what can you do if you're looking to save some cash when it comes to that Halloween stash?
The best deals for candy can actually be found at your drugstores, and that is because you can combine a store coupon with a digital or manufacturer coupon to get the prices really low.
Cases of a common respiratory illness are on the rise in children.
The symptoms to look out for and the ways to help keep your kids from getting sick coming up.
And a St. Louis teen shot and killed at school. The White House's message to the Senate following another school shooting coming up after the break.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
I'm Tiffany Smiley, and I approve this message.
A 2-year-old overdosed on fentanyl she found in the park where she played. It's not just our cities. It's killing kids from Bellingham to Pullman because Patty Murray kept our borders open and defunded our police. Now, record rapes, carjacking, murders, and overdoses plague our communities, and victims have nowhere to turn. Who's to blame? Patty Murray. 30 years, and we are less safe.
Healthy communities need more than health care. is MultiCare. We're here for you.
The internet is full of misinformation about how elections work. There are several things you can do to spot misinformation. Be cautious of headlines designed to provoke anger, fear, or other strong emotions. Double check that the source of information is a trusted expert. And see if other news outlets are also reporting on the issue. You deserve to know the facts about Washington state elections. Visit sos.wa.gov to learn more.
Hi, I'm John Butler with Century 21. Welcome to the beautiful Gem Shores Estate here in Hayden Lake, the most premier waterfront property for sale in North Idaho. This 8,600 square foot masterpiece is designed with the most unique furnishings from all over the world. Every piece has a history and a story to tell. When this home sells, the furniture must go. Consign Furniture in Liberty Lake is the only company we refer our clients to. Our clients deserve the best, and Consign Furniture delivers every time.
What is currently going on is not working. We need to reduce crime and improve public safety.
We need to support and refund our police.
The cost of living is drastically affecting my family.
Everything now is too expensive.
This year, your vote matters more than ever.
Vote.
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 This year, I'm voting Republican.
We're voting Republican.
I'm voting Republican.
Let's vote.
4 News Now is brought to you by Aligned Family Chiropractic.
Around the nation, a gunman killed a teacher and a student during a high school shooting in St. Louis, Missouri this morning. Police say the 19-year-old was a former student. They say he hurt 6 other people before police shot him. He died at the hospital. The Biden administration is once again demanding Congress do something about gun violence following another mass shooting.
We need additional action to stop the scourge of gun violence. Every day that the Senate fails to send assault weapons ban to the president's desk or waits to take other common sense actions is a day too late for our families and communities impacted by gun violence.
It is still unclear how the shooter got into the school. In Michigan, the school shooter who killed 4 of his classmates last November is now pleading guilty.
ABC's Rena Roy explains why his parents are facing charges as well.
You understand that you will be pleading guilty to count 1, terrorism causing death.
One by one, 24 charges read aloud by a Michigan judge.
With first-degree murder.
Accused school shooter Ethan Crumbley pleading guilty to all of them.
Is it your own choice to plead guilty? Yes, sir.
The 16-year-old suspect admitting to killing 4 of his fellow students in Oxford, Michigan last year and injuring 7 others.
Just getting the guilty plea alone, I know for my own child, I think that lifted 1,000 pounds off his chest so he does not have to stand there and testify and relive it again.
Among the charges, 4 counts of first-degree murder and terrorism causing death. The teenager now facing life in prison.
The prosecution is trying to make a point here. This is no different from international terrorism. This is terrorism. You are frightening the community.
Crumbley was also asked to confirm that his father bought him the gun he used in the shooting.
Is it true that you gave him your own money to buy the firearm? Yes.
And that the weapon was kept in an unlocked safe.
Yes, it was not locked.
The state charging his parents, arguing they ignored a lot of red flags. Prosecutors also allege they tried to flee. They're facing 4 counts each of involuntary manslaughter, the first time parents have been charged in a school shooting.
There's everything here to say that these parents should be held responsible, and it will send a message to other parents when you have issues like this. You need to take accountability for it.
The parents claim they did what they could and should not be held criminally responsible. Both have pled not guilty.
Because Crumbley is a minor, parole could potentially be on the table. His sentencing is set for next year, and victims will have the opportunity to read statements. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
An aggressive virus is spreading across the inland Northwest. What local doctors say is key to stopping the spread next on 4 News Now at 6:30.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
I've never liked political ads that attack. But with my opponent, we better start tightening budgets to pay for the state income tax that he supports. My opponent believes a tent city has never caused an increase in crime. We can expect more crime, more taxes, and more regulations that make housing more expensive. I support safer neighborhoods, lower taxes, and addressing homelessness and housing. I support you, the hardworking people of Spokane. Vote Kim, please, for County Commissioner.
Oh, life, how we admire you, are deeply fascinated by you. All your twists and turns and wild rides you take us on. The ups and the downs. Life, you live inside all of us, breathing, growing, beating. You are the reason we'll always provide world-class healthcare. Providence, we see the life in you.
This is another one of those surprise medical bills you get in the mail. I've gotten them. You've gotten them. I'm Kathy McMorris Rogers. With inflation crushing our families, we need to put a stop to these. I support requiring hospitals, insurers, and doctors to disclose their prices so you can know the real cost and can shop around for the best care. I approve this message because no one likes surprises, especially this kind.
Chevy Silverado. It's got the power you want and the capability you need to do the job so you can get to the important work. Find new moments, find new roads. Get $1,500 total cash allowance on all 2022 Silverado pickups with a 2.7-liter turbo engine. Plus, now during truck season, get $1,000 accessory allowance toward a new Chevy truck with accessories. See your hometown Chevy dealer today.
Next ET, our Michael Bublé Dancing with the Stars exclusive.
Are we going to do the scoop now?
It's a Bublé ballroom takeover. Plus, Anne Hathaway's new plea for A Princess Diaries 3.
I would more than entertain it. I'm pulling for it.
Then, we're kicking off Halloween week at Universal Studios Hollywood with guest co-host Rachel Lee Cook.
I'm really excited.
Next ET.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30. Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
Parents nationwide are trying to protect young children and babies from a respiratory virus that can be life-threatening. It's widely known as RSV.
And we're seeing a spike locally and nationwide. A local pediatrician says the cold-like virus hit the inland Northwest early this year, and it's hitting kids more aggressively. Peter Choi explains how to prevent this virus and the signs it's time to go to the hospital.
Hospitals nationwide are seeing more kids coming in for treatment of a respiratory illness, and it's happening here in inland Northwest. A Kootenai Health pediatrician tells me they're seeing more viruses spreading, and being prepared will help keep your family safe.
Any parent seeing their child not being able to breathe properly is very scary.
Fortunately, Katie is not just a mom. She's also a pediatric nurse. So she knew that her son needed to go to the emergency room right away. When she saw signs, he couldn't breathe. More than 95% of children get RSV, even before their second birthday. For most kids, it seems just like a cold or other respiratory problem. But for some kids, it can be life-threatening.
If your child is not eating or drinking and they're becoming dehydrated, you need to get some help. If you're noticing that they're working hard to breathe, and that can again manifest in a few ways, maybe even nasal flarings.
Nationwide and here at home, doctors report seeing more cases of RSV this year, and it's happening earlier than usual. If your child's skin has a bluish color, that's an important sign that it's time to go to emergency room. But if your child has regular flu or cold symptoms, stay home.
We're also going to want to make sure that we really push fluids, keep them hydrated. We're also going to want to make sure they're blowing their nose or clearing their secretions. And if they're too young to do that, you're going to want to bulb suction it.
And testing is important. She says pediatricians at local clinics can screen your kids for RSV. In Kootenai County, Peter Choi, 4 News Now.
Skycam tonight, looking live over downtown Spokane, where it has been a damp and chilly and breezy day. not quite as miserable as Lookout Pass. This is not your TV being dark. This is a very dark shot of Lookout Pass right now. I've been watching it snow all afternoon there, but now it is starting to stick to the road, and that would not be a pleasant drive this evening, especially this early in this evening. So easy does it if you have to go over Lookout Pass tonight. Meanwhile, here is a live look over the Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena at a beautiful sky. We have some clearing in Spokane. We're not rule out a sprinkle or two yet this evening, but it looks like our next round of more serious wet weather is coming tomorrow night. Here's a look at our radar right now, and you could see as we take this into the last several hours that we've had one main band of precipitation that is now well to our south and east. Behind it, more hit and miss showers, and those will continue to taper off this evening, finally drying out overnight before we get another round of hit and miss showers in the afternoon, with more substantial precipitation coming tomorrow evening and into the overnight Wednesday morning. Your Tuesday planner, we are going to start off most likely with dry conditions. There's still a slight chance of showers, and then our odds of precipitation increase tomorrow. A high of 49, 53 is our average high. I think we're going to start seeing a lot more snow building up in the mountains. I'll be back with your 8 to 14 day outlook in just a few minutes. Kirsten?
Thanks, Chris. Also new tonight, the boat launch at Camillin Park in Post Falls is closing for the season on November 11th. It will remain closed until late spring or early summer, depending on the amount of water flowing into Coeur d'Alene Lake.
Coeur d'Alene's fire department has a new boathouse at the 3rd Street docks. This is new video from the fire department of the boathouse being towed today. They're calling it Station 5. This new location was paid for with GO bond funds in 2015. The goal is to be closer to Tubbs Hill, which is where the fireboat is often called. Fire officials say it'll be another 4 to 6 weeks before that house is boat ready.
A new COVID variant is now spreading and fueling concerns of another potential outbreak this winter.
There's all these numbers and letters and all that. Peter Hotez calls them the Scrabble variants because they have these unusual letters now.
The Omicron subvariant BA.5 remains the dominant strain, but the CDC says last week these new strains made up 1/3 of new cases.
So we'll see by mid-November, for example, do they start to take over and become sort of the dominant strain?
While the new subvariants are slightly different, these new Omicron offshoots have evolved to share many of the same mutations. Some experts believe that means we've entered a new phase that will see circulation of several variants at the same time.
We have a consumer alert for anyone who uses dry shampoo. Several brands, including Dove, Nexus, Suave, Tigi, and Tresemme, have been recalled because of potentially elevated levels of a chemical called benzene, which can cause cancer. To be clear, based on an independent health hazard evaluation, even daily exposure to benzene in these recalled products at the levels detected in testing would not be expected to cause adverse health issues. The companies are now recalling these dry shampoos out of caution. You can find a full list of brands being recalled on the FDA's website.
The Gonzaga Bulldogs are just a few days away from tipping off their season, and today Drew Timme was named as a preseason All-American. Coming up in sports, Alex Crescenti has more on the accolades he's piling up.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Mr. Sandless.
My dad was a World War II veteran. The promise we make to veterans to care for them when they return home is personal to me. I've brought senators from both parties together to increase benefits, help more veterans find homes and good jobs, and hold the VA accountable to give veterans the excellent care they deserve. I'm Patty Murray, and I approve this message because I'll never stop standing up for Washington's veterans.
Do you suffer from burning pain, coldness, numbness, tingling in your hands, legs, or feet, and worst of all, balance problems? Have you been told you have peripheral neuropathy? Stop what you are doing because there is help in a healthy way. We see physicians across the country throw a drug cocktail approach at this condition, getting minimal, if any, relief, while neuropathy progresses toward being confined to walkers and wheelchairs due to amputations and disabilities. Finally, there's a proven path to recovery that thousands of patients just like you have experienced. Our breakthrough, non-invasive neuropathy treatment is supported by FDA-cleared technologies based on published clinical evidence, creating a 99% satisfaction rating.
It was unbelievable. It worked right away.
I'm out from the chains that neuropathy had put on me.
It's a big improvement, and I love it.
I recommend this to anybody that's got neuropathy.
It's definitely been life-changing.
If you want your health freedom back, don't choose to suffer any longer. Call now. Spots are limited to the first 20 callers. Call today so we can help in a healthy way.
Vote with confidence this November. In Washington, our layered cybersecurity systems, trained officials, and election audits make sure every vote is counted accurately. After you've received your ballot packet in the mail, fill it out and send it back in your signed return envelope. You can also put it in an official Dropbox or submit it in person. Visit votewa.gov to register, find voting locations, and check your ballot status.
Kim Kardashian uproar. Next, Inside Edition. She's trying to get this convicted triple homicide killer out of prison.
There's so many twists and turns in your case.
But does Kim have it all wrong? The lone survivor of the massacre speaks out. Then, mystery of the missing family. The father's bizarre 911 call.
People want to erase me from the face of the earth.
Next, Inside Edition. Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Inside Edition at 7.
Take a look at this awesome Goonies-themed costume one family made for their son. Well, in case you don't recognize it, it's based off the skeleton key organ from the popular 80s film. There it is. And just like in the movie, the keys must be played in just the right order or else. Well, family, not sure what happened there.
I don't know.
It explodes or something. The family has there it goes.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, it shoots some stuff out of the top. The family has become known for making elaborate costumes incorporating their 13-year-old son's wheelchair. They say they don't do it for the fans, but for the joy it brings their son who has cerebral palsy. They also have donated some of their older costumes to families with children who are also in wheelchairs.
So creative.
Oh, that's good parenting. That is a good story. Nice to hear. Halloween starting to show up in the forecast too. Here are 4 things to know about your forecast. Some hit or miss showers over the next 24 hours. Then we'll bring in more steady precipitation tomorrow night into Wednesday morning. I'll show you in just a moment. It is going to be chilly and breezy tonight and tomorrow. We get into that wet Tuesday night with the possibility of some snow mixing in with the rain. In fact, a very good chance down in the valleys. Our high temperatures today only in the 40s in most locations. Spirit Lake, however, staying in the 30s for a high temperature that is below average. Here's a look at the forecast on a broad view. We have a cold front that came through today, brought the rain along with it. That is zipping off to the east. It's left us in some instability that will give us that chance of showers over the next 24 hours. Then that next system comes in, bringing another round of cool and wet weather. And because of the timing of that, coming in tomorrow night and into Wednesday early morning, we have a better chance to see some snow in the valleys. Here's a zoomed in look at the forecast over the next 48 hours. Hit and miss showers this evening. Here's Tuesday at 6 in the morning. Mainly mountain showers in the form of snow the first part of the day on Tuesday. Then we get into Tuesday night and bring in that steady precipitation, mountain snow, valley rain. Then overnight, we start to see that switch to some snow down in the valleys. Nothing particularly heavy, but then we dry out as we get into Wednesday afternoon. Tomorrow, we will be able to fine-tune that snow forecast, see if it's going to have any impact on your Wednesday morning commute. Unless you're going over the passes, though, I think we'll be in pretty good shape. Good idea to download the 4 News Now First Alert weather app, however, so you can get the latest updates on this forecast. This is the time of year where things change rapidly. Over the next 7 days, it is certainly going to be cool. This white line is average, but we're only going to be a little below and a little above, basically seasonable through the 7 days. Our extended forecast, November 1st through the 7th, is calling for below average temperatures and above average precipitation. We're getting into the time of year where that could mean valley snow and mountain snow, but mountain snow almost a certainty. Looking forward to getting those ski areas open. So we have lingering rain and snow showers Wednesday morning and a cool day. Right now, it looks like we're just going to see some mountain showers on Thursday and Friday, and then more wet weather coming in for the weekend, but temperatures a little bit warmer. Looks like all valley rain. It is getting cooler, and thank goodness we have got some coats pouring in for Coats for Kids and financial contributions as well. And today I had the tremendous honor of picking up a check from the Inland Northwest Camaro Club. They have been faithful supporters of Coats for Kids for 9 years now. I checked back on my records, and they do these fantastic car shows where they show their beautiful automobiles, and they take the proceeds from those car shows and give it to local organizations. The nicest group of people and the nicest cars. That is the garage of a tremendous guy named Ken. That's Ken I'm talking to right there. And those are all his Camaros and Corvettes. And I tell you, that is a whole new story in its own. In the meantime, I'd love it if you'd go to KXLY.com/CoatsForKids. Make a donation or find out if you know a kid who needs a coat. We're already distributing in some locations.
Thank you, Chris. Well, we have another inspiring story of success to share from Sacred Heart Children's Hospital.
Emily Bloom shows us how music and friendship helped heal one 14-year-old girl in this month's Miracle Monday.
1 year ago, Lucy Riggs was your standard 14-year-old girl, loving band, enjoying soccer, and looking forward to school. A bout with strep throat turned into the discovery of a very aggressive form of leukemia, acute myeloid leukemia. That was in November of 2021. Today, she's in remission, and as she shows us here, it was music that got her through.
When we were introduced to Scott, it was just like a breath of fresh air to be able to play music again.
This 8th grader, who was invited to join band at the high school level, had the chance to revisit her favorite hobby in a very special way during her time in treatment.
It's something that is an immediate connection to make with patients and families and people.
But every Tuesday, people would come in and stuff, and like, I cannot do anything. Scott will be here soon. I only missed one session when I didn't feel good, and even then, he just played for me, and that was awesome.
While in Seattle, their jam sessions continued over Zoom.
You know, you just have this opportunity to build relationships with patients that are here for kind of the long haul.
Scott Ingersoll has been playing music with patients like Lucy for 11 years with the nonprofit Songs for Kids Foundation.
It's a really immediate gift to be able to just give to someone and to kind of be a fabric of, part of the fabric of what happens in the hospital here and what the arts and healing crew get to do.
He sees it as not only a gift for them, but for himself as well.
Lucy even named our band called Lucy and the Diamonds. She made merch for us. I have a pin on my, guitar strap, and so it's just been very special to be part of her journey in that way.
Lucy's back playing in her own home now, but she'll forever cherish those Tuesdays that helped her heal and gave her something to look forward to.
Makes every day a little easier, because I'm like, only 3 days till Scott comes, only 2 days till Scott comes.
It's so rewarding.
Lucy is back home doing online school to build up her immune system. After the bone marrow transplant, her immune system is starting at 0. She has weekly checkups, and right now her future is looking bright. If you'd like to support the Children's Miracle Network, you can find the donation page under this story on KXLY.com. Reporting in studio, Emily Bloom for News Now.
Here's a look at ABC's primetime lineup tonight. It's Bachelor in Paradise at 8, followed by The Good Doctor at 10.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
From refinishing cabinets, doors, and trim to painting walls and ceilings, Everhart Painting has you covered. Everhart Painting has been Spokane's premier painting contractor for over 50 years. Call Everhart Painting today to schedule a free estimate. Everhart Painting, your painter for life.
My husband and I have had the Harvester for about 13 years. If there's anything you want to know about Spangle, come in and find out at the Harvester. Avista contacted us about a business partner program to upgrade our lights to LED lights. Between the energy efficient rebates that we got and the grant, it was completely free to us. On our energy bill, we're saving about $500 a month. Everything has gone up, so that savings has been a huge help to the restaurant.
They keep us safe, put their lives on the line every day. Yet radicals want to defund the police and give criminals get-out-of-jail-free cards. That's the last thing we need. Law enforcement has a champion. Kathy McMorris Rogers. Kathy says no to defunding the police and voted to secure more funding for local police departments. Endorsed by police and sheriffs, Kathy backs the blue and they back her.
I'm Kathy McMorris Rogers and I approve this message.
Each month, 4 News Now is focusing on a cause that's important to our community by helping to get the message out. This is good for you to know.
The CareShop Health and Wellness Cooperative wants to remind you that October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we encourage you to go and get screened. I opened the CareShop 22 years ago, and it's been my pleasure to help women navigate treatment and recovery with the products that they need. We offer breast prosthesis, bras, and wigs, head coverings, hats, and skincare, all provided in an intimate setting with certified fitters. Recently, we opened the Health and Wellness Cooperative, and by doing so, we've added services to the products that we've already provided. We've partnered with a number of providers to offer mental health, lymphatic massage, coaching, nutrition and hormonal services, free wig trimming, along with restorative yoga and small support groups. Please remember to get your screening, also that there's a community of providers to help you through your treatment and your recovery.
From refinishing cabinets, doors, and trim to painting walls and ceilings, Everhart Painting has you covered. Everhart Painting has been Spokane's premier painting contractor for over 50 years. Call Everhart Painting today to schedule a free estimate. Everhart Painting, your painter for life.
Good morning.
Rise and shine.
Watch Daytime's #1 duo, weekdays at 9 a.m.
Well, the Gonzaga Bulldogs haven't even tipped off their season yet, but already those national media folks thinks it's going to be one of the top squads in the country. And a couple of weeks ago, the Zags landed at #2 in the Associated Press Top 25 poll. And today, senior forward Drew Timme was named to the preseason first-team All-American by the AP for the second time in his career, and it's easy to see why. Last season, he topped the West Coast Conference with more than 18 points a game and shot better than 58% from the field. For his dominant performance, he was named a John R. Wooden Award Player of the Year finalist, a Wooden All-American, and a second-team All-American by Sporting News and the Associated Press. And he was also the WCC Player of the Year and first-team All-Conference the last 2 seasons. So already building up quite the resume, and he could potentially be on campus for another couple of seasons. And Timme and the Bulldogs will get their season underway this Friday night with an exhibition game against Tennessee out in Frisco. That game is going to be exclusively on pay-per-view, but the good news is it's only $10, so you can get your buddies together, enjoy a nice Friday night, have a couple drinks, some pizza, you know, see the Zags roll there. And Washington State sophomore Mohamed Gay was also recognized today, being named to the Pac-12 preseason All-Conference first team. Last season, Gay averaged better than 7 points and 5 rebounds a game to go along with his 33 blocks as the Cougs made it all the way to the NIT semifinals. They'll open up their season on Monday, November 7th against Texas State down in Pullman. And staying in Pullman, the Washington State football team got back to work today after coming off their bye week. More than halfway through the season, they're sitting at 4-3 and 2 wins from bowl eligibility, but have dropped their last 2 games. While the defense has been able to hold its own, the offense has been lagging behind, averaging just 12 points during that stretch. However, this may be the break that they just needed to get right and finish the season on a strong note.
I'm focused on practice. My team is focused on practice. That's the first thing we come in. That's our mindset. Our coaches take over and make sure that we get our recovery, and that's the big thing for them, is that they make sure that we recover and that we, our health is the focus point. Last week coming in.
It's just we can't let up explosive plays, and we have to be more physical consistently. We definitely have the ability to be a great run defense, and we've shown that, but then we also have the ability to not be one, and ultimately if we don't have guys doing their job, then we're going to have games like we've had weeks prior.
The road doesn't get any easier for the Cougs, though. They'll welcome in the 14th-ranked Utah Utes, who are also coming off their bye week. This will actually be the first Thursday game for Washington State since they opened up their season against Rutgers in 2014. That was a loss. I remember it. It was terrible. And for those wondering, Utah comes in as an 8-point favorites right now. Guys, back to you at the desk.
Alex, thank you. Also new tonight, Apple is raising the price for its streaming services. Apple Music is jumping to $10.99 per month for individuals, and it will cost you $16.99 for the family plan. The company says the latest price hike is because of increased licensing costs. On the television and movie side, the monthly cost of Apple TV Plus is jumping 40% to $6.99.
And comedian and actor Leslie Jordan has died. He was best known for his role on Will and Grace, an American Horror Story, and he also recently found himself back in the spotlight, posting lots of videos to Instagram and social media, asking viewers, what are y'all doing during the pandemic? I loved him. We will miss him.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
I think he'll be safe in there.
Help keep what's important to you safe with Chevy Safety Assist, standard on these Chevy SUVs. Find new safe places, find new roads.
Well-qualified buyers can get 1.9% financing or get $1,200 cash allowance on all 2022 Equinox models. See your hometown Chevy dealer today.
I've never liked political ads that attack, but with my opponent, we better start tightening budgets to pay for the state income tax that he supports. My opponent believes that Tent City has never caused an increase in crime. We can expect more crime, more taxes, and more regulations that make housing more expensive. I support safer neighborhoods, lower taxes, and addressing homelessness and housing. I support you, the hardworking people of Spokane. Vote Kim, please, for County Commissioner.
Living in the Inland Northwest has its advantages, and one of those is working with amazing people who dedicate their time and efforts to help others. STCU's Volunteers Count is a program to say thank you for this service and inspire others to give back too. Please tell us about a volunteer at a local nonprofit that inspires you. Go to KXLY.com/volunteerscount and nominate them. Help us showcase those people who give of their time and truly make a difference. Volunteers Count, brought to you by 4 News Now and STCU.
You didn't choose cat allergies, your hairline, or that thing when your knee just gives out for no reason. But you can choose your doctor who will care for all the things you didn't choose. Kaiser Permanente, for all that is you.
In America, we have a pressure from every quarter trying to destroy the opportunity for people to be able to build their own futures. We see an economy that has gone from the strongest economy that we have seen to one in which we have raging inflation. Our borders must be protected. We are seeing unprecedented entry, 2 million illegal entries, with the drugs and the violence that comes with it. I'm going to fight to make sure that we stop those problems. I'm Mike Crapo, and I approve this message.
I'm Dr. Sean Murphy. I'm an attending.
Meet our new first years.
Newbies.
Don't call them that.
My job is to mentor and teach you how to be a good doctor.
The Good Doctor, new tonight on ABC and stream on Hulu.
4 News Now is brought to you by UFCW.
Coming up on Nightside. One Washington town, which is popular with tourists, had an animal attack someone in town. It happened during the day. We'll tell you the fate of that victim and what that animal was tonight at 11 o'clock.
Most likely dry to start the day tomorrow. I wouldn't rule out a sprinkle or two, but measurable rain, our chance is pretty well 0, but those odds jump up to 40% by 5 o'clock and even higher tomorrow night. And maybe not just rain, but a little snow mixing in.
Whoa.
Everyone wants to know all about the snow. It's exciting this week.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app. See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.